here too. Send it to all of them. Tell them to come in. Let's have a good old time. The lines is open. Nah, what happened? I didn't see that. The TikTok unalivers. Nah, we'll get to that. Send it in the thing if you can. It's the fact they keep making claims about you. Sent to you. It's weird. It's weird, man. It's weird. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, what's good with it, man? What's good with it, Trey? Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about how y'all. Let's talk about the gentlemen that constantly feel the need to give women advice. It's a wild thing. It's a wild thing. The weenies. Oh man, how do I become a better man? That's a good question. I don't know. Drink more water. Stretch. Touch grass. Is that Mel Ford? I don't know who that is, man. That's a good question. It's old though. It's from the 90s. It's from the Big Papa video. Have you debated Myron for Fresh and Fit? No, that nigga would never debate me. But yeah, let's talk about it. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop this shit. Uncle Tom, hold on, man. Hold on. Oh man. I wanted to invite you up, man. I'm sure you done already left though, but you gotta get blocked though, because when you say stuff like that, you got to go. You got to go. I wish Steve Harvey was my dad. I'd be rich. I'll be somewhere else. I'll be doing what Lori Harvey be doing. I'd have been popping in these streets like Lori Harvey. I ain't gonna even hold you. Nah, he can't give any advice. This shit will literally keep talking to dudes she not into. What? Nah, can't stop giving my sis advice. This chick will literally keep talking to dudes she not into. This is okay. So let me make this clear. Is my premise false? Why is it false? Let's see. Let's see if Aaron can come up. Come on up, Aaron. What up, AP? You think you can give women advice, Reggie? Okay. Come up and give women advice. I would love to hear what advice you think you have to offer women. So, where you at? There he goes. I want to hear how the premise is flawed. What's up, Aaron?
What up?
Chilling, man. What do you mean premise is flawed?
I believe that there's a lot of things that both sexes don't know about each other because, living in a man's body, there's ways you interact with the world that are going to be different than the way women do. And we should learn from each other. Rather than think we know everything about the other side, men don't know shit about women generally. Women know things about men, but they don't know everything about men. I think it's just across the board, we're all like that.
But how is my premise false? Because I don't agree with what you just said. I agree that men don't know shit about women in general as a group, and that's why I say men shouldn't give women advice.
I don't think we should either. Yeah.
Then how's my premise false?
No, I'm saying, but there's a lot of things that women don't know about men. I was raised by a single mom.
Okay.
She taught me to the best of her ability how to be a man. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of things that there's just oversight because she doesn't live in our bodies.
So what wasn't she able to teach you? How to masturbate properly? What do you mean?
No, she wasn't able to teach me how my body in a space, I'm 6'4", I'm a big dude, right? She was never able to teach me that when I enter a space,
nobody could teach you that though, brother. What percentage of men are 6'4", right? So I couldn't teach you about that.
I'm just saying, being perceived as a threat, automatically off top. I understand the reasons why, but being perceived that way, men have a better understanding of that than women. And women have, like I said, there's nuance to everything. Sorry, I'm getting a little lost. I don't do lives generally,
No, you're good.
but I believe it's just nuance to all this stuff. But there's things that we need to listen, and learn from both sides, like on the opposite side. Women can learn things from men, and men can learn things from women. But
Not in general. For you specifically, Aaron, and me specifically, I can give advice to my wife. I can give advice to a woman I know personally on some personal shit.
yeah,
But me as a man, I would never offer advice to all women.
yeah,
Like there's nothing I can't think of anything that I could tell a group of women that most of them or a lot of them wouldn't already know. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think I really have much to offer as far as advice to women.
and like I would ask the follow up question: in what regard, and like what kind of advice are we talking here? Like dating and
Yeah, when
that.
so let me okay, so let's be specific. I'm talking about how men tend to go out of their way to like say stuff to like you know the old saying of like pick better, choose better, vet better,
Yeah,
anything in that vein, anything that pertains to oppression or the oppression that women face or how to overcome it or anything like that. Like there's just nothing like what the fuck are you gonna tell women?
yeah, and I would agree with that. I
Yeah.
would agree with that.
Of course, you, Aaron, you are into car. I'm just making this up. You're into
Mm,
cars, and your woman isn't into cars, and you give her advice on, how to pick a good car. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
nobody's talking about that. I'm talking about as it pertains to the plight of men and the plight of women. There's nothing. There's no. What are you gonna tell them? What like? What do
yeah,
you? You know what I mean? Like, we don't
yeah.
know shit about what they. We don't know.
Not at all. Like I would 100% agree with you there. I was raised by, like I said, single mom and mostly sisters. My brother was way older than me, so he was
Mm-hmm.
out of the house. So it was like I have certain insights that some men, like I have cousins that were just all boys. They don't have those insights. Like there's things that you can learn from exposure to the opposite sex, but you can never know. It's like for certain, obviously. But I
Yeah,
think that goes both ways. You know, um,
that could be the
Yeah.
case. Go
and
ahead, CW. So you said I should read
Oh
bell
yeah, no,
hooks?
all good. No, yeah. So like, well, I'm coming in this conversation kind of late, so I didn't understand your full point until like now. So
Mm-hmm.
that does the context does kind of help. So like
Yeah.
in Bell Hooks, in her book A Will to Change, she speaks about like kind of the traumatization of men in our development. I feel like that's kind of what Aaron was touching on when he was saying like, hey, my mother didn't really teach me of like how to carry myself in a room or how people would perceive me as this and that. And I started coming from the perspective of like, oh, he might be touching on the aspect of how like a single mom might not be able to teach a man how to like be comfortable in his body. Like Bell Hook speaks on like an aspect of like um man or a mother kind of being ashamed of like the male penis and things like that and not
That's what I
being
said. Yeah. That's what I
yeah
was like about like masturbating. Okay. Like,
yeah
but as far as like character wise, which is to me more important, like how to be a man, quote unquote, because that's what men like to always go to is like a woman can't raise a man how to be a man or what, and it's like a weird, you know what I mean? I'm like, what are you talking about? Why
yeah
wouldn't they be able to do that? But yeah, no, I've
yeah
heard what Bell Hooks has said. I do have that book, and yeah, so
yeah
I'm
it's a
familiar with it.
it's a powerful book. I think the only thing that men can do to teach women in terms of dating, quote unquote, is how to empathize with like with men in terms of our struggle, especially black men specifically, and how we're developing the trauma wounds that we have like from as kids. But outside of that, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Like we can't teach women of like how to do better in dating and things like that. We can only teach them with like the wounds, exposure to the wounds that we do face on a day to day. So yeah.
You don't think women already you don't think women understand like what men go through? What makes you think women don't know what men go through? Because what do men go
Um.
through that let me ask you this question. I ask both of you guys this question
Yeah.
if you agree with this, Aaron. But do men go what do men go through that is unique to men?
That is
um,
unique to men,
Mm-hmm. What
or
do
I
like
men
would
go through that wait? I'm gonna let CW go first and then you
okay.
go, Aaron.
no,
What
no,
do men go
you're. I'm
through?
trying to. Yeah, no, I'm trying to understand the question itself. So, like, for me, it's sometimes I don't think women necessarily recognize like their contributions in terms of like how they contribute to the patriarch society that we kind of have in itself, and how pushing those sorts of like expectations on how a man ought to be or should be. I don't know. I don't think women sometimes recognize their role in that on the day to day.
I know, but
So
that's not the question though. I'm
yeah,
asking you,
that's kind of what I'm saying.
what
Yeah.
do like so because you were talking about the things that you said specifically black men go through, right? Okay, cool. So let's talk about black women, right? In this particular case, which I was hoping to go one day without specifying black people, black men, or black women, but let's do it again. So, what do black men go through that black women don't understand?
All right, so can I go?
Yeah, you can go back to UCW. I'll give you
Yeah.
a second to think about it. Go ahead, Aaron.
I like to sort of categorize it as like an invisible pressure, right? Like, and I know women go through this too, but it's for different reasons. Um, we go through a pressure of when you're in public, you cannot be 100% yourself. You can't be as loud as you want to be. You can't be as not forceful, but like you can't argue your points like you would with your friends or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like we're sort of like put into
So you
a
think that
box.
you think that this is something unique to black men? You think black women,
I would
when
I
they
would
are
I
in
would
public and they're loud, they don't call them ghetto and they don't do the same
no
things that
no
they do to black men?
I would say like I said, black women go through the same thing,
Okay, so
right?
you're not answering the question. Let me ask the question again. What is something that is unique to black men that you think black women don't understand? Because
I
that's
would
what
say
CW started off by saying.
I would say that
No, I think my point kind of got
okay.
misunderstood there. But
Okay,
I
go
think
ahead. Explain
I
it to
think
me better then,
I
because
think
that's what I got
I
from it.
think yeah, no, I got you. I think
Hmm.
black women are probably the one people as a whole. Like, if I know we didn't want to specify necessarily race in this, but I think they're the one people as a whole that can empathize with the black man or the struggle of the black man. But in terms of like just something uniquely that maybe they're not aware that they're not exposed to that we are exposed to, I don't really I kind of agree with you there. I don't disagree with
Nothing,
you.
because anything that you would go through, right? Anything that you would go through would be because like any oppression you would suffer would be because you're black, not because you're a man, right? So it's that it would be racial. Black women experience the same oppression because they're black. But then you add to that they're women, and then boom, there you go. So you got double the oppression, right? In that particular case. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So what
yeah,
would
I
they?
agree.
So what would you go through as a black man that black women wouldn't be able to understand? I'll take it a step further. Even if you just say women in general can understand oppression because they're oppressed. You see what I'm saying? Like even
Yeah,
an
yeah.
Asian woman, because she's oppressed. So like if a black man and an Asian woman go try to go get a job somewhere, right? And then they both are denied. They both are qualified for the job, whatever. So they believe, right? They're both denied. They hire a white man or a white woman or something like that. Both can assume that the reason why they didn't get hired. Well, I'm sorry, that's not even true for the Asian woman. That's not even true because it could still be because she's a woman and because she's Asian. But more than likely it's going to be because more than likely it's going to be because she was a woman, not because she's Asian, right? In this particular case, more than likely. And in your case, it's going to be because you're black, not because you're a man that you didn't get hired for the job in most cases, right? So I think that it's, you know what I mean? Like I think that women in general can just understand the oppression of men, like in general. I think they can. But black women specifically suffer a different form of oppression. I mean, the oppression is more it's more concentrated for black women because Asian women suffer to like all non-white women also suffered double the oppression, I guess, you know what I'm saying, because Asian people are also oppressed and so are Latino people, so on and so forth, but black women get it the worst, right? Like they get it by far the worst, so they get double the oppression because they get the worst of being a woman and they get worse of being for being black. You see what I'm saying? To me, there is nothing that is unique about being a black man that a black woman wouldn't be able to understand or haven't gone through themselves. Nothing. I can't
I
think of
would
anything.
I would say it's like on an individual basis, it's harder to identify. So you have to look at it sort of structurally. Um, black black men have our bodies are targeted, right?
So are
As
black
in,
women's bodies,
no, no,
Aaron.
I know. I
Yeah, yeah.
understand.
Their
No,
bodies
the
are targeted
control,
too.
the
He's right.
control
When he puts it into terms like that, he's correct. There's not really much to debate here.
yeah, like the control of women's bodies and reproductive, all that stuff is 100% real,
Yeah.
100% real. But when it comes to black men, it's like
Mm-hmm.
they talk about the prison, like the school to prison pipeline. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's a real thing. Like
Okay.
if you get in a fight in third grade, you're labeled as a problem child. That label follows you. So anytime you mess up again, you're more likely to repeat the deviance, prior deviance, right?
But you have to compare. Okay, so you would have to compare black women also to every other demographic of women, and black women are more criminalized than every other group of women. You see
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
Like
it's the same logic. Black men are more criminalized than every other group of men, and black women are more criminalized than
Yeah,
every other group of women.
yeah.
So
That
once again, they would understand what black men go through,
yeah.
because
They're not isolated from that school to prison pipeline that you're like referring
not
to.
at all.
Yeah, and they're
yeah.
some of the biggest advocates
I
for
don't
it.
think
And
it's
stuff.
isolation. I don't. Like I said, like on a individual basis, it's harder to identify, right? But if you look at it structurally, the numbers you start to see the numbers add up, right? Where the system has been geared for and created for 300 plus years to lock up black men and control black women's like reproductive rights, right? It's the same things targeting both of us at the exact same time. And like I feel like we don't need to split hairs and argue about which oppression is worse.
We
We
do.
need to understand it.
No, we need to. We need to. We need to. We need to. That's the biggest lie, is that
I
we
don't think
don't
it's
need to.
productive. I
It's
think
it's
it
it's very
causes
productive
arguments.
because, Aaron, if you haven't, if there, let's, we're on a ship and the ship be sinking, right? And there's two holes on the ship, right? There's two holes, right? And you need to plug a hole first. Like, you got to plug a hole. You're sinking fast. You got to plug a hole, and the holes are different sizes. There's a big ass gaping hole, and there's a smaller hole that you could if you plug this big gaping hole, you could survive. You can get to land if you plug this big gaping hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna eventually get to it. Don't worry about it. And if you plug this big gaping hole, you're good. Like, you're good. You'll be able to, like I said, you'll be able to get to land. You're fine. It is very important for us to identify which issue is worse, so we can help those people first, because those people are the most vulnerable, right? So wouldn't it be the most intelligent thing to do to go, okay, that's the bigger hole, let's go over there first, because if we can lift them up, then we're good. If we
Yeah,
lift the women up and we lift the children up and we lift the most oppressed people up, we're good, because we're not as oppressed as they are. So imagine when they get a leg up. Oh my God, we're gonna rise, like what they say, rising tides raise the whole ship or some shit, like, I'm probably misquoting, but like,
yeah.
right?
I sort of think we believe the same thing. Just we're tackling it from two different like perspectives. But
Hmm.
I respect the fuck out of your opinions. Like
Yeah.
I pop in sometimes, and I actually got to go. My lady's about to come in right now.
Hey man,
But
much respect.
yeah, I catch you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
go
I don't
ahead.
think you said anything here that I didn't disagree or that I didn't not agree with. So yeah, but yeah, I got to bounce too. But see you later, gentlemen.
RCW. Yeah, that's that idea. That idea, we gotta make sure that we understand that it's very. And I feel like that's a trap that a lot of black men fall into. Is like, um, well, you black first, right? Like, you're black first, so let's attack being black first. And it's like, nah, man. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say, but I will almost guarantee you this: if we could dismantle the patriarchy, racism will fall. If we dismantle the patriarchy, because racism can't exist without the patriarchy. It can't. The racism cannot exist without the patriarchy. They can't exist separate of the patriarchy. It's impossible. If you really think about it, how the systems function, it's impossible, right? But the patriarchy can exist without racism. So if you attack racism, you got to destroy racism, and then you still got to go and dismantle the patriarchy to make sure all the oppression goes away, right? But if you dismantle the patriarchy, then all the oppression goes away. Somebody says, how's that? Because you can't. If the patriarchy is dismantled, then women, children, everybody is gonna get their needs met. not white. It doesn't matter at that point. All groups get their needs met when after you dismantle the patriarchy, right? If you're talking about like feminism or whatever, it doesn't say black people get their needs met. It doesn't say white people get their needs met. It says men, women, and children, right? It's for the equity and equality for men, women, and children. It doesn't specify race, has nothing to do with race. Men, women, and children. So if you dismantle the patriarchy, then everybody eats. Everybody eats. How can you oppress black women? Do you see what I'm saying? If you're oppressing black women, then the patriarchy still exists. If white men are still higher than black men, then the patriarchy still exists. You see what I'm saying? So if you destroy the patriarchy, it's done. We win. Game over. You don't have to worry about racism. You don't got to worry about ableism. You don't got to worry about none of that shit. You could if you destroy the patriarchy, all the hierarchies are destroyed kind of simultaneously, right? That's what I'm saying. So that's for me. I've told people this, but like for me, that is when, in my mind, because I was always hyper fixated on, like most black men are, I was hyper fixated on dismantling racism. It was like racism. Let's get rid of racism. And then now I'm like, wait, even if we get rid of racism, the patriarchy existed before racism. The patriarchy was thriving way before racism was even a thought. So what makes me think if we get rid of racism, everything will be good? No. Hell no. Absolutely not. I don't think so. What are you talking about? You don't think so? Let's see. Nice enough. It doesn't make sense to me. What do you mean you don't think so? Nice enough? Nice enough. Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't think that it's the patriarchy. I think that the women are the worst. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Daughters of the Confederacy. If you look at the school system, when you met school to pipeline, most of the teachers are Caucasian. And I'm going to tell you that the most racist experience my daughter has ever had in school was because of a Caucasian teacher, female. Most of the time, whenever I go to the school to talk to a teacher that is Caucasian and it's a good conversation, it's a male teacher that is saying, hey, hold on, she can learn this, but we need to understand how to teach her. Otherwise, they are criminalizing my child.
Can we
That
not
I
use an anecdotal experience? Can we talk about it from a societal standpoint?
Great.
Or
So
yeah,
you heard of the Daughters of the Confederacy,
I know who they are.
and there was a study, a documentary that I was watching about how they systematically will disrespect the mother to the child so that the child no longer trusts their mom. And you're dealing with these people at grade school levels. So you're at that time, their critical thinking of their identity and how they operate in the world, that's the most critical time. And what the other piece that I also want to mention is the lately there was that situation about the bear and Caucasian black women in the corporate industry. I have seen it so many times that a Caucasian woman will spew those stereotypes and also act in a way that it's more to confirm the stereotypes than to deal with the person as an individual. Immediately, I'm
Yeah.
scared of you.
But
You're
I
going to
have to,
attack me.
yeah, but I have to say a couple of things. A, those women are doing that because they want to maintain their position in the hierarchy that is the patriarchy. So that is why they would, oppress, like a white woman would be like, yep, I gotta hold this black woman down because this white man told me if I don't do that, if I'm not a gatekeeper, then I'm gonna lose my privilege too, right? So first and foremost, secondly, you're talking about the Daughters of the Confederacy. Those women, they actually had a lot to do with our current education system. But
Right.
who had a bigger impact on our education system was Rockefeller. So he put the money into it. He was the one that actually said, like, we need an education
Hmm.
system so that we can brainwash everybody in the
Exactly.
country, not the Daughters of the Confederacy. They just were an extension of that. but they weren't the worst. The worst was the man, the white man who did it. You see what I'm saying? Because he's the one who has the power to do so. The white
Great.
women still got to go through the white man to get the approval. The white man don't got to go through nobody. He can just check it off and just say, boom, we're done. Right? So it's
Okay.
so no matter what you're saying, it doesn't make it's. I get your personal anecdotal experience. That
Not no
sucks.
matter what I'm saying, because I have something to say towards that. So when you talk about Rockefeller and his idea, that was across the board, right? That was across the board. And that was also inclusive of Caucasians. He wanted a system that would create buyers, period, point blank, because his customers were Caucasian. So he did that across the board to everybody indiscriminately. And so did Ford. It was nothing more than creating a class that were customers and the mentality of staying in a space. And it was not about race, it was across the board. Because you can't tell me that
Ford
he
was one of the
was
most racist men to ever exist,
he
man.
I just said that. Well well they were both industrial. Now let me express this as well. If they were in the interest of developing this country so that they would create mass customers and consumers, they could not have been doing it based off of race. Why? Because there weren't enough black people to make them rich. They
Yeah,
did that
you
across the
making. I'm
board to
sorry. I'm sorry.
everybody.
I got to move on to Reggie. This is you're not. I'm not. I don't agree with that point at all. That's not to me. It's not valid. It's ahistorical from what I've read. But like I said, I appreciate
How
and I
could
respect your
they did
anecdotal
that
experience, ma'am.
system to
No,
allow
I
for
got you.
customers?
I got you. I disagree with that. They that was a part of it. They also wanted workers. They wanted soldiers. They wanted a bunch of people. They didn't just want
Great,
customers.
but they could not do it off of
and and
African
they wanted to
Americans
make it
alone.
and they wanted to create a hierarchy where white
They
people would still be at the top.
exactly, but
Even poor
it
white people.
also required that Caucasian be in that group because you couldn't do it to just black people.
But that doesn't mean that's not what that doesn't mean anything. It's
They
not
didn't.
because they
It
hurt.
does.
Hold on,
It
nice
does.
enough. Hold on, wait, stop. It doesn't mean that they still didn't favor or still didn't have there are poor white people. We know that, right? So we know that white people, they're billionaire white people don't care about poor working class white people. We know that, right? The white people that are poor don't seem to know that, but we know that, right? We know that they don't care about them either. But they still created a system where those people have inherent. I'm sorry, that yeah, there are inherent benefits built into that system, even for poor white people. That's what I'm saying. So it wasn't across the board. It wasn't like they got rid of the hierarchy and then the daughters of the Confederacy came in and reestablished the hierarchy. No. The hierarchy was already established. It was already established. That's what I'm saying. So it's not it's kind of like pointless to I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. I'm being honest. So go ahead, Reggie.
Yo, thanks for having me on. But before I get started, I want to tell everybody, please read the prompt. You don't see race in that prompt. Where is it? It's nowhere there. Okay, we've been talking about this for the last 4 days. Race is not a part of this conversation as it currently is. So the second part of the prompt says, there is nothing men can tell women that they don't already know about men. Okay, cool. So I've dated quite a lot since 2021. I think I've probably dated, I don't know, been on 25 first dates. I'll probably say that, maybe 30, I don't know. And so something that I've found, me
That's it.
personally, and so this is me personally, is that I don't think women understand that the degree of an apology that you give should be proportional to that of the offense. So if you say something, if you're like, yo, I'm just going to just go off the rip, you can't just say, oh, I'm sorry. You should actually apologize. Some women go so far to say, hey, I'm going to make it up to you, right? Men don't want that. Men want a straight up apology. They say, hey, if you can just apologize to me, I don't need you to make it up to me. I don't need that. I don't need a little apology. Just say, hey, I'm sorry. That's something I found.
What is that your advice to women?
That is my advice. Yeah. So what's wrong with that advice, though?
Repeat. I'm sorry, bro. Repeat it. Let me.
So okay, here we go.
I heard what you said, but let me just make sure. This is crazy. Go ahead, man.
So if you're dating someone and you do something wrong, I didn't crash out. So if you're doing something wrong, what you should do is you should apologize in words. A lot of times, someone would say, "Hey, let me make it up to you," or someone would just say, "Hey, you know what? I'm sorry." Right? It got to a point where I was like, "Yo, let me look at this online," and I did, and I noticed that other people were having this problem. So my advice as someone who dates, right? I'm currently in a relationship.
Nice.
Yeah, so what I would say is, hey, just make your apology proportional to the offense. If you say something completely out of whack, just let the dude know, hey, it's all good, yada yada yada, I apologize. And that would be my advice.
So you think so you think women have a problem with their approach? I'm saying generally speaking. You think generally speaking, women don't understand how to apologize?
I would say so. I'd say like so for some women, they would turn around and they would say, "Hey, let me make it up to them." But as a man, how at least I think this is anecdotal. I'm like, "Yo, I just want an apology within relative time to the offense. Not so much, you don't have to do anything grandiose or whatever. Just throw in an apology."
Yeah, you said you dated 30 women. I've dated three times that, and I'm gonna tell you, I ain't never had a problem with a woman apologizing for the most part. And from my personal experience, from what I've seen, me included, and every other man around me, it's men that have the problem with how and when to apologize. Men don't know how to apologize. Men are the ones who would do some shit like blow up, not say nothing to you for 2 days, and then all of a sudden a nigga just come in the room with some fucking fried chicken or something, or some clothes from H&M. Like, I don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
A bag or some shit like that. Like, no apology, right? Just like nothing happened. They just want to ignore that shit. I don't know what the hell you talking about, brother. I've never. What you're describing that's not common. I'm not saying like you haven't experienced that. I'm just saying like that's not common. What you're describing is not common for most men or women. That's crazy.
so I don't disagree with you, but the prompt is about men giving advice to women.
Yeah.
I don't date men, so I don't
No,
know.
no, no. So women as a group, though, you dig what I'm saying? Like, so you're once again, you see, and that's what I was saying earlier. You, Reggie, you don't have any advice to offer women as a group, because the thing you're saying, at best, you would have to personalize it to a woman who wasn't doing that. But as a group, women aren't the ones who have that problem. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's why that advice would fall on deaf ears. Like, okay, yeah, we know that. You see what I mean? Like, you don't think most women know that? You think that's something that women need to hear? Like, if at best, fuck it, I'll give it to you. At best, that's something that people need to hear. Men or women, right? Fuck it. It's not unique to men or women. Cool. I'll give you that. At best. At best. But I don't even think that's the case. I'm just saying at best, it would be something that I could say should be applicable to everybody. You know what I'm
And
saying?
guess what? I agree with you, right? But so so okay. I think what's going on. So, in my honest opinion, I think you're splitting hairs because, in a sense, you're kind of making it impossible for someone to actually give advice to people. I would actually say this. So, this would be my other advice to women, right? As a whole, don't date don't date guys who make a significant amount of money less than you. I think we can always agree on that. For me, I've seen it play out. I've seen, that end up like horrifically where guys feel very, inadequate
You
about
think
themselves,
you
right?
think that's a problem that most women face? Like most women are doing that?
So not most women. So by
Okay,
the
so it
way,
would have to be something that would have to be applicable to most women for you to apply it to most for you to offer the advice, right? To
right?
women writ large. It would have to apply to most women. It
But is
shouldn't
that what your
apply
prompt
to
says?
a very small group of women, because a very small group of women do what you just described.
Wait, wait,
And
wait.
the other way too, a very small group of women actually date men who make a significant amount of money more than them, right? The
Public.
same things on both ends. So let's talk about the majority, not the minority.
Public. That's not what your prompt says. Your prompt doesn't say that. And there are so many women out there who are
What?
dating. Yeah. So read your own prompt. What
I
does
know
your
this
prompt
is.
say?
Hold on,
Most
wait,
women?
wait. When that lady, I will never forget that video. That lady broke down, and I know you're a smart guy, but
Which
literally,
video?
when she was talking about literacy, and she was saying like people often have trouble understand. Like, brother, what this when you read this, obviously, I'm talking about men in general and women in general, not a small group of women, not 2 women, not 100 women. This is women in general, meaning it should apply to most women. It should
So
apply to most women. You, Reggie, which I already said in the beginning, you, Reggie, you can give advice to a woman. You can give advice to 20 women, maybe, that you know personally, or whatever the case may be, or maybe if they ask. I'm cool with that. But you, Reggie, don't have any advice that you can say in a room full of women that the majority of the women wouldn't already have intimate knowledge of. I guarantee you. And you're proving it right now. Because neither one of those things are things that that the majority of women actually grapple with. You see what I'm saying?
so now we've hit a new issue. So I guess what you're saying is that your question as posed, right? Where it's like, hey, men can't give advice to a group of women, right? Is impossible to answer. So essentially what you're saying is that your prompt is a red herring, no?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I think it is.
It's
Because
very
you're making it
possible to
impossible
answer
to
it,
answer.
here's what I'm saying. So here's what happened. I thought about it before when I thought about this prompt, because this prompt was made out of an observation of mine. I didn't make the prompt first. I didn't work backwards. This was an observation of mine because I keep seeing men constantly giving advice to women, like the men who look. And the craziest, this is a side note, it's the funniest shit ever. The men who claim that I talk to women, I pander to women, all that shit, right? They be the men that call themselves giving advice to women. All the time, you go listen to them talk. They're always trying to give advice to women. I'm like, why are y'all always trying to give advice to women? Why are you always telling women to vet better and make better choices? And like y'all always got something to say to women. It's the craziest shit ever. It's the wildest shit ever. I'm like, how are you guys? Huh? And then so I'm like, I never give advice to women because I know or I believe that I don't have anything unique to offer women. I have nothing to say to women. If I once again, there's 580 people in here. Let's say 300 of them are women, right? If to 300 women, I don't believe there's anything that I can say about what I described before, like the dynamics between men and women, the plight, yada yada yada. There's nothing that I can say that I think that the majority of those women wouldn't already understand. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think that, and that's where I got the prompt from. I was like, why the fuck do y'all keep trying to give advice to women? And the advice that most men give is so topical. It's like the dumbest shit ever. Like it was like Kevin Samuels level advice. Like, oh, you should take a shower every day and wash your ass crack. Washing your ass crack is not gay. Like, who? What? Like that's not advice. Like, bro, come on, be for real, bro. That's not like nobody is arguing against that. Nobody is saying like, oh, you shouldn't wash your butt. Like that's bad advice. Like I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying the things you said right now is like bad advice. You dig what I'm saying? Like that's not it. What I'm saying is, do you think you have something you can offer to women writ large, as a group, as a whole, in general? Do you think you have some advice, some insight that the majority of women would have not experienced or were not able to identify for themselves? And my answer to that question is absolutely the fuck not. Absolutely the fuck not. That's
So
that's what I think in general. But go ahead.
okay, cool. So I think a lot of those guys, right, when they give advice, essentially what they're doing is they're masquerading their contempt of women in advice, right? And we can see,
Exactly.
and so we can see it when we hear it. From me, from my perspective, when I say things like, "Hey, yo, all right, good. My God, thanks. So when I see things and I'm like, hey, don't date broke men, I'm also a fan of building with somebody. I think when you invest early, you get more results. Now, that's a topic for another day. We can have a conversation about that. But my advice is not based in contempt. Those men hate women, right? So when they're saying stupid shit like, hey, no weaves, no lashes, no this, that, the other, and then someone like me comes on in and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not really a fan of lashes, but you know what? I don't mind weaves. I don't mind all that. I don't mind wigs and whatnot. I don't mind makeup. Then I'm the one who gets yelled at. Okay. But that's where I think the
Who
difference is.
yells at you? What do you mean? Who's yelling at you?
Or I'm the one who gets called names in the comments.
From who?
So
From who?
from various men.
Oh, from the men. Okay,
Yeah,
got you.
yeah. So because I don't have that contempt, okay? You have a lot of dudes out there who maybe they're married, and they're not with the person who they want to be with. So, and they're mad at the women who they really want to be with. So they start spewing some shit out on the internet. That's not me. I have legit, criticisms where I'm like, yo, if we can just fix this a little bit, it would make the idea of coupling a lot easier.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't think the things that you would offer as like a fix to anything would actually help. It wouldn't. I mean, if you're trying to tell women, I promise you, the thing I almost could give me. You just gave me two examples. Neither one of those things would help anything because
So
neither one of those things are problems. Go ahead.
wait. So you think that women should be dating down? Like, is that
Listen, no, Reggie.
okay? So then,
I don't think that women should be doing anything. I'm telling you what women actually do, though, based on the numbers, not based on what I think. The majority of people, men and women, we date within our socioeconomic class. So why do I need to tell women you shouldn't date a broke man? Most women, if a woman is broke, she's going to date more than likely she's going to date a broke man. If a woman is middle class, more than likely she's going to date a middle class man. If a woman is wealthy, more than likely she's going to date a wealthy man. So why do I need to tell these women don't date a broke man? They're already not doing that. So moving on, what's the next point? What else can I offer them? You see what I'm saying?
So here would be my retort to that, because right now in the
Hey, can I ask a question?
yo Lance,
Yeah. Right after this, Lance, I got you.
hold up. So my retort would be, right now in the black community, that's not good enough. It's not good enough to date in your tax in your tax bracket. It's not good enough, because if you're dating a dude who's making $40,000 a year, that's not sufficient to live your life. And yes, I'm reintroducing race right now back into it. I know I said earlier that we're not doing race.
Brother, if she making 38 and he making 40, who are you to tell them don't date each other? Who cares?
Because
That's big. That let the Lord let go and let God, brother.
And 981 baby. Yes, girl, I'm black. Come on now. Get out of here. Anyway, yeah, man, thanks. Thanks for the convo.
All right, Reggie. Go ahead, Lance.
Hey, I just wanted to know, like, what happened? Because I want to risk your energy. What happened that made you so upset about, what did you see, like, guys doing to make you feel like this?
I'm not upset about anything. What do you mean?
Well, not upset. You just sound passionate about, like, matter of fact, like, every guy you're seeing, they're just, like, telling women what to do or giving them advice. Like, I just
They
wanted,
do
like, is there something that you see happening, or is just
all the
something
time.
came in
Yeah,
your spirit?
all the time. I just told you what happened. You missed it. I
No,
constantly.
I
Oh,
heard
you
you.
got
I
an
heard, I
echo.
heard what you said. You
Yeah,
said that guys shouldn't tell women not to, to wear certain things or
I
whatever the
never
case
said
may
that.
be.
That was Reggie.
Okay, well, I was trying to listen.
Yeah, that wasn't me. I said that you got an echo, brother. You hit the your what's it called? Your airplane mode or something. I don't know if you're on Bluetooth or something, but you got a hell of an echo. But no, what I said was that women far too many men get not even just on the app in real life, but whatever, they say stupid shit like women need to vet better. They blame this women need to vet better. Women need to choose better men. Like it's pretty much it always comes back to something like that. Like when I ask the question, what do you want women to hold themselves accountable for, and the answer is all 99% of the time it's she for her choices. What choices? For the choices in men. Yeah, I think men should stop giving advice at that point if that's all we got.
Yeah, I can just easily agree, but I just feel like, I don't even hear, only thing I hear is like, independent, girls is winning in this world. And I don't even hear like, I haven't heard a woman ask a man advice or,
They
in a
don't. That's
long
what I'm
time.
saying. Men give unsolicited advice the same way they fucking dish out dick pics. Like it's just unsolicited. Like nobody's asking you for that advice. I've never heard a woman ask a man, "Where do you think women are going wrong, Mr. Man?" And then he's all crack his knuckles like, "All right, I couldn't wait for you to ask. Choose better."
You mean like a Dr. Phil or Steve Harvey?
No, I never. Once again, those men, no women ask them. Harvey just wrote a book on his own. Did nobody ask him to write that book? He wrote a book on his own. I don't know shit about
So
Dr. Phil, but I know Steve Harvey. No woman in the world asks a nigga with a mustache like that in the 2020s to write a fucking book on the 2010s. I guarantee you that. No woman was checking for a nigga with shiny suits and is oversized suits and a mustache that big, and they was like, you know what? This guy looks like he knows women. Like who? Like for real? Like let's be honest. Nobody asked that man to write a book about that shit.
no, I hear you. I mean, Steve Harvey is not even like a number one person anymore. So I'm just trying to figure out like who really ticked you off, like with
You
this.
keep
You know,
asking the
Kevin
same
Samuels
question.
is dead.
Yeah.
So
It's men in general. Go on the app, swipe up. Here, wait around, Lance. Give me a second. I'll give you a second. Just stay up here. You'll see. Major Flips was good.
Yeah, it was good with you. I was just that's a problem. Why you put this up here? Like, stop giving women dating advice or whatever.
I just said why.
Like, what motivates you to do that?
I just said it.
I didn't hear you, brother. Can you repeat it?
I will not. If you weren't listening, that's not my fault. Why weren't you listening?
So you a host and you're not a host. So I come on your panel and you don't know how to be a good host. What you saying? I come on your panel, ask you a question, and you might be a smart ass nigga. I don't understand.
Why do you want me to do more labor? This will be the third time I've said it in the last 10 minutes. Reggie asked me, I told him. Lance asked me, I told him. And then now you're asking me.
Bro, you ain't getting no vitamin P or something, bro? What's wrong with you, cuz?
What?
Your girl ain't she ain't fucking you good or something, bro?
Okay. So do you want to get dropped or what?
I'm just trying to figure out why you got an attitude and you're supposed to be hosting.
I just told you I don't want to repeat the thing that I just said twice in the last 10 minutes. You don't think that you should listen better. So just go ahead. Let's have the conversation. What do you disagree with? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Major Flips. Do you agree or do you disagree? Stop asking me why I did it.
You got your period on or something, bro?
Okay.
You must be a tranny.
Yeah. You can go. I always try with him. Major Flips is like 5'9". He got short man complex.
you know, just so happens that is a tranny in the background though, but you didn't know that.
I honestly don't care. Don't care. Don't care if she is, don't matter to me. Yeah, you gotta be careful with that word. That's a very highly offensive word. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh no, I was just listening, man. The last person you spoke to when you talk about the 40,000 and 40,000, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Like I'm tired of dudes keep speaking about how a relationship's supposed to be and who makes what and how it's supposed to be. I was just agreeing with you on that.
Okay.
That's all
Did
it
you did
was.
that was all you wanted to just say you
Yeah,
agree?
yeah, yeah. I was just
Okay.
chiming in. Yeah, that's it.
Bet. Hey, I had to drop you F1 for saying that word. So I said F1. I had to drop you Lance House. You can come back up though, but I wanted to start the clock over. Oh, Omar. Oh yeah, please. Please. Come on up, Omar. Come on up, Omar. We're holding space for you. We're holding space for you up here, brother. Oh man, you denied the request. Please don't deny my request. That's rude. Don't be that guy. Here, let's mute you for the live. Come on up, Omar. I want you to be able to talk freely, brother, but you got to come up. Imagine a tiger hunter saying they know about tigers, but still get mauled. Obviously, he didn't know. What? What the fuck? Hey man, y'all got to stop. Y'all analogies, man. Whew. Man, oh man. Analogies is a tough thing to do to give good analogies. You got to understand You got to understand both things you're talking about to give an analogy, and that's why a lot of you guys suck at giving analogies because y'all don't really know shit. Just keep it a bean. If I'm keeping it a bean, that's what it is. You got to know both things you're talking about. So for you to give that analogy, you would have to understand tigers. You would have to understand something about tigers and tiger training, and about the topic, which I don't think you understand either. But come on up, Flex Jaeger. Come on up, broski. I don't even understand what that means. Is that like what it's saying, 30-round clip? I would love to hear that. That's a violent name, 30-round clip. What a violent name that is. Whew. They must be scared of you on the streets.
Oh look, I had to take my headphones out, bro.
Nah, you good. You good.
Bro, let me troll in peace, bro.
Nah, you can't troll me, P. You already know if you're gonna get to tapping, you gotta get to yapping, brother.
Let me
I'm gonna
troll in
need
peace,
I need
dog.
the I
Damn.
need the fade. So what you talking about? How that's what I'm saying. Y'all analogies be so trash because
That's
Lisa
not a trash
Leslie,
analogy.
that's a trash analogy. I'm gonna tell you why. Because the thing would be basketball, right?
Bro,
Which Lisa
I'm gonna tell
Leslie
you why it's
plays.
not.
Whether
I'm gonna
Lisa
tell you why
Leslie
it's
plays in
not.
it, hold on, brother. Whether Lisa Leslie plays in the NBA or the WNBA, which is still the NBA, just with a W in front of it, she knows basketball. So yeah, she can comment on basketball. You see what I'm saying? That's why that analogy doesn't make sense. But try again though. So what do you
Well,
feel about the
no.
topic without the analogy?
Oh, so now you want to change how I feel.
I do
All right,
because
so
I'm
look.
trying to help you out. Your analogy was trash. I'll be trying to tell y'all analogies
All right,
really be
okay.
garbage, like no
Okay,
cap.
all right. I talk about it, bro. I talk about it. Okay, I'm not a racist. I go eye for eye. I'm not a racist. Anyways, I do agree. A man can't speak on nothing, a woman got going on. I wouldn't advise for a man to give a woman advice on dating at all. And I think that's kind of what you do to a certain degree though, bro. Like you kind of push that narrative. But I get it though, bro. You know, you got your base fan base and stuff like that. So
What narrative
you
do I
gotta,
push?
bro, like you always going against men, bro. Like that's what you do, bro.
How am I
And that's
going
cool.
against men? How
If
am I
that's what
going
you want to
against
do,
men?
if
How
that's
am I
what you want
going
to do,
against? Okay.
that's cool.
How am I going against men?
I mean, bro, every topic, bro, every time my FYP stroll, bro, you always got some men stop doing this, men don't do this, men don't do that. And it's like you never, but I get it though. That's your target audience is to, you
Yeah.
know,
So instead of you trying to just like you trash at analogies, you trash at reading the room. So what if I was a white person and I was talking about dismantling racism and I kept talking about what white people do? Would you say, man, you just keep going at white people, or would you understand that I was really going?
I
Hold
don't,
on, you can't answer the question before I'm done asking it. Please let me finish asking the question, please.
go
Okay,
ahead,
it's really important.
go
So,
ahead, go ahead.
if I was a white person and I was in here talking about ending racism, and then every prompt every day, what I was talking about what white people do that contributes to racism, right? Would you come in here and say, "Man, you just going at white people," or would you understand that I wasn't going after white people? I was going after racism.
I would think I would honestly, to be honest with you, bro, I would think that white person is trying to um break down their inner racism. So that's what they do. You get what I'm saying? I would not think they give a fuck for real. I would think they just trying to break down their inner racism and they're just trying to let it go. You know what I mean? And that's what you're doing. You're trying to,
Okay,
break down your
you
inner
can't answer the
misogyny.
question honestly. You gonna make it up into some other bullshit. But so
It's not no bullshit,
let's
bro.
have a rational discussion. If a person is going against a system, right? The patriarchy in this case, or racism, right? Both systems of oppression. And
Talk to
he
me
is
nice.
talking
Talk to me.
about the group of people that perpetuate either system the most, and they cause the most harm, and they are the gatekeepers to this system, right? They are the gatekeepers of the system, I should say, right? if that person is talking about how those people contribute to it, how is that person going after those people specifically? It doesn't make sense. I'm going after the system of oppression. And I'm talking about men because men are the ones who created the system and perpetuate the system and are the people who can destroy the system. You see what I'm saying? So what you're saying doesn't make sense. I think you can understand it, but instead of you actually trying to understand it actively, you try to you're trying to find a reason to not understand it and go, oh, you just doing this for your fan base and you just saying all this dumb shit, but it doesn't make any sense. You see what I'm saying? Like, it has to make sense. You
I
can't
get it, bro.
levy an allegation without supporting it with facts. You see what I mean?
Bro, I'm not naive, bro. I get it, bro. I'm not naive.
Are you not?
I get
Are you
everything.
not naive? You sound very naive right now. So so if you're
No,
not naive,
I just told you I get it.
no, you don't though.
I just told
You
you I
don't.
get it, dog.
You get it now, or you always got it because you didn't get it before.
Oh, I've always got it, but I told you I like
Okay,
to troll
so
in peace, bro.
okay, so you trolling. That's what I'm saying. That's weird. You don't think that's weird for a grown man to be trolling?
Hey man, I can do what the fuck I
You
want.
don't think that's weird?
I pay my
That's
own
not
bills.
weird.
I got my
Come
own
on,
house.
my nigga.
I do what I want to do, gang.
I got
You
you,
know what I
bro.
mean?
But you don't think that that's weird?
I mean, shit. What you mean? Motherfuckers troll all the time, dog. Like, what's the problem?
I don't go around trolling people.
What's the problem, gang?
Not like this.
See,
I guess I can be a troll, but not like this.
Yeah,
It's
you
crazy.
can be a troll.
I don't
can be a
act
troll.
willfully obtuse though. You see what I'm saying? It's okay to troll. Like here's what I'm saying. I'm trolling you right now. You see what I mean?
are.
But I'm not being willfully obtuse. I actually understand what's going on. I'm just trolling you right now. But I understand. Like, I know that you know what I'm doing. I know you know that. You see what I'm saying? I could tell, and you know how I know you know? Because when I ask you a question that you should easily give an honest answer to, you try to wiggle around it, and I'm like, okay, he understands, because if he didn't understand, he would just answer the question straight up, right? But as soon as you go, well, I would think that it was, and you make up some bullshit, I go, okay, he completely understands, that's why he won't answer the
Hey,
question.
bro, your herd, bro, is let me cut these comments off, bro, because your herd won't let me talk, bro. Your herd
You got it,
crazy.
brother. It's you. It ain't them. It's you. It's you.
Nah, bro, they say a lot of mean shit in the comments, bro, and that's a problem, very problematic. And they are.
You just came up here
bro.
trolling.
Like, your herd is fucking weird.
You just came up here trolling.
You know what? There's something I don't agree with though.
Go ahead, Lance.
I don't agree with like the way that you kind of try to make this like.
Hold on, you're breaking up, Lance. Wait, pause. Lance, pause. You're breaking up. Lance, you're breaking up. Give it a second. Wait till your phone comes back.
I'm breaking up.
You're good now. Go ahead. I didn't hear nothing you said. Go ahead.
You hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. You're good.
You know what? I don't agree with the tone of voice that you use when you try to make, when you say this patriarchy thing and all of this kind of stuff, because for me, in my experience as a black male, my whole life, I have never really seen, just like one gender in charge. Like, mostly I've seen women in charge.
Let me ask you a question.
Teachers,
how many, hold on, wait. Hold on. I got it. Wait, Lance.
Don't speak? Okay.
How many female presidents have we had in this country?
How many female presidents? Is that a trick question?
I mean, you just said you said you never in this country you seen women be in
They
charge.
got a vice president. They have a
Well, we
vice
got
president.
Kamala Harris.
Okay, I didn't ask
now.
about
They have a vice president.
Kamala Harris isn't the president, so let me ask it.
She's
See
the
what I'm
vice
saying?
president.
When I
vice
ask
president.
y'all straight questions and you pivot to we have a female vice president who isn't the president,
No,
I
said,
know
is that
right
a
there.
trick question.
Bro, the
It's
president
not a
is
trick
the
question.
most important person.
Hold on,
bro.
y'all.
The president is not
You
the
got a
most
lot of
important
background
person.
noise, Lance. Hold on.
The president is not the most important person, bro.
I didn't say that the president is once again, that's not what I said. I didn't say the president is the most important person, though the president is referred to as the most powerful man in the world, which I find ironic in this instance. But anyways, I'm asking Lance and or you, whoever wants to answer the question honestly, how many female presidents have we had? Since he only saw women in charge, I'm curious to know.
All right. I answer that.
We never had a female president. I don't understand.
Okay, so how can you say?
Female president. They
but we
almost had a
haven't.
female president,
We've almost had a lot of
but the
things, sir.
women did not vote in
Yeah,
favor
I
of that.
almost went to the NBA. I almost got a record. Like
But
a
but you
bunch of
tore your
things
ACL.
almost happened.
But you
Nobody
tore your
cares.
ACL, bro. That's just how it
Yeah, I
go.
know, but that's my point. Nobody cares about almost. Brandy has a great song you guys should listen to. It's called "Almost Doesn't Count."
Almost doesn't count. Almost doesn't
Great
count. Yeah,
song. Great.
great
One of my
song.
favorite songs of all time. You guys should listen to it. It's a
Yeah,
fucking
almost
great
doesn't
song.
count. That is a great
Yeah,
song.
it is a
Um,
great song.
Yeah, well, we never had an Asian president anyway. Does that make any difference? I
Yeah,
don't
that
see
makes a
that.
lot of difference. That means we've never seen Asians in charge. Asians have never been at the top
You
of the
never seen
hierarchy.
Asians in charge? Really?
You've never. Asians
They
are
in
not
charge
at
of
the
the,
top of the.
Chinese
Hold on.
restaurant?
Oh my God. You got a lot of
no,
back. You
they
got a
are
lot
the
of echo.
model
I always got to mute
minority.
you, Lance.
Hold up, they are the model minority. They are not in charge. They are just the model minority
Yeah,
over the black community and over the Hispanic community.
absolutely.
They
That's it.
they
Hey, that was very intelligent. I love that answer. That was
bro. See,
great.
you
Go
try to be
ahead.
petty, bro. I'm
I'm
just being
not,
real. Okay, all
bro.
right.
When I give you props, just take it. I'm
All right,
letting you
all right.
know that I agree. When you say things, I want to let y'all know when you say things that are intelligent,
Now,
I'm going to
who
agree.
who has more power, the Queen of England or the President of the United States?
More power?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know, man. The Queen of England owns the most land in the world. I don't know. It's a tough one. I would say the
All
president
right.
because he's in
Well,
control of the military, and the Queen of England
if
isn't.
women are so like beat down and they don't have no power, how did we have the Queen of England?
Nope. That's not. I want you to understand that that's not how it works, brother. Even if we had one female president before, it still wouldn't prove your point. My point wasn't for you to go. We had a female president. How many black presidents have we had? One. Does
No, I
that mean
said the
black people
Queen of
are? Hold on,
England,
Lance.
Hey,
Princess
Hold
and he
on.
wasn't.
Diana.
Hey, and he wasn't all the way black though.
Hold on, y'all. Please don't interrupt me while I'm talking. If we had a black president, it does not equate to black equality, right? That is a black face in a high place. So even if we had a female president, it would just be a female face in a female face in a high place, right? It's not. It's the same fucking thing. Even if next year Kamala Harris ends up being president of the United States and she's a black woman, that still wouldn't mean that black people had any
So you said the Queen of
semblance
England was nobody?
of
Queen of
equality.
England was
And I'm
nobody?
saying hold on, the Queen of England is dead, by the way. But when she was alive, the Queen of England can only go so far because she still had to exist. She still had to practice. Her power only existed within a patriarchal structure, so she only had so much power, and that would be one woman compared to how
Well, how
many
much power do you want her to have?
the same power that a man would have in her position, a king, or the same power that men have,
So she don't.
male
So
leaders
she
have
don't
in
have the
general.
same power.
No,
Okay.
no. Female queens don't have the
And
women.
you get to just say
Queens.
you get to
Queens.
say she
I said
had
female
no
queens.
power and without no backing it up, with no evidence of her not having power.
I didn't say she didn't have power,
I thought that's what
right?
you just said.
Nah, you're not listening. I didn't say she didn't have power. I said she doesn't have as much power as if a king if the king were alive and not her, the kings would have had more power because men have more power than women. The women still have to function within a patriarchal system. The men are
You know they have
they're
something called a matriarchy too, right?
where is the matriarchy at?
But I'm just telling you, you know they have something called a matriarchy too.
Yeah. Do you know what a
Patriarchy is not the
matriarchy
only
is?
thing they have.
Do you know what a matriarchy is? Do you know how it exists and what it looks like? K Prado was good.
What's up?
Chilling.
Cool.
Gotta
That they
drop low.
don't already know about men. I'm confused on that. Could you explain that further? So, like, even ethnically, culturally, they know everything about said man.
What?
That's what I'm asking you to explain because you're saying there's nothing men can tell women that they don't already know about men. So that's assuming that women know each cultural and each ethnic distinction between each man.
That's stupid. That's not. I wasn't talking about cultures. What are you talking about?
Well,
It
but that
wouldn't be. It wouldn't have
matters.
anything to do with the fact that they were men. It would have something to do with you're from America and she's from Spain, right? She's from Ghana and you're from Compton, right? Okay, cool. You guys could teach each other about food, but that would have nothing to do with the dynamics between men and women. The dynamics are going to be pretty much the fucking same between men and women in every culture. That's my point. So yeah, I don't know what you. It's not. This isn't hard. Like this is very straightforward. If you can't understand, I don't know how to. I think you might be making it more, deeper than what it is, but it's not that deep.
You're saying the dynamics between men and women is the same in every culture?
Relatively speaking, yeah,
Can you give an example of that? Give to like
yeah.
two cultures. Yes.
There's an inequality. There's an inequality between men and women in almost every single culture that I can think of on the planet right now. There's men. There is it's a setup. Women do the majority of the labor. Women are more likely to be abused. Women are more likely to be taken advantage of. Women don't have as much structural power. They don't have economic power. Like there's an unbalanced power dynamic between men and women, and it starts from the top down. So politically, all the way down to personally, it's the same. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing because the politics affect the personal.
Okay. That's what I wanted to ask. I want you to address. So,
Do you think you have anything? You think you have some advice that you can offer women?
dating advice?
Not dating
Um,
advice.
any advice?
Yeah, any type of advice. But like
Well,
for that, but we can talk about it because the prompt does say dating advice specifically.
well,
So
I
you
would
could,
say
but
like
yeah,
I would say avoid a man who doesn't have morals. You know, like
you
typically
think
stay
most
away
women don't
from someone.
understand that?
Can you say that
You think
again?
you think most women don't understand? You think most women don't already think that
Well, I believe most women do think that, but there are some women that see the red flags but
and
look
then
past it.
go through? Okay,
Yeah.
so let me rephrase it. What advice do you think you can offer women in general that would apply to most women? Not that would apply to a small group of women.
Oh, that's the would apply to majority. Find someone that aligns with who you are and what you believe in. I believe that can apply to the majority. Because
You
typically
you
your significant other is going to be the reflection of you.
okay?
And you should have influence, and their meanings and whatever it is should align with what you believe in, as they are a
So you
reflection of
think
who you
most
are.
women don't you think most women struggle with that concept?
I would say yes. I think most women do struggle with that. With finding someone
Struggle
that's yes.
struggle finding somebody like that, I
Yeah,
agree.
yes,
But
struggle finding
struggle
someone.
but
No, no, no,
but
no,
do
no, no.
they
Struggle
struggle with
finding
that
someone.
idea though? Yeah, yeah. But do
No,
they
no, no,
struggle
no,
with
no,
that
no,
idea?
no,
No,
no. They
right?
don't struggle with that idea. I say they
Yeah, that's
struggle
what I'm saying.
finding.
So
Yeah. So I'd say they
yeah,
struggle finding someone that's a reflection of them.
yeah. So you would have to find. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think that would apply to most women. I don't think that's something that most women need to hear. Meaning they don't already know that or don't already practice that. Now, trying to find that, absolutely, absolutely. I know that that's tough for men. For women, that's really tough for them. But but they know that though. They want that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're looking
Yeah.
for that, no doubt about it. But it's just like, where the fuck do those men exist? that's the that's the
I mean,
problem.
that's just the needle in the haystack, you know. Um,
Yeah. So what can you? So there's. I mean, so that's two. That's twice. That's twice, right? That's two cracks at it. Let's try it one more time. What advice can you give to women? Because I don't, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think men. This is. I'm not trying to beat up on you because you're cool to me. I don't have no problem with you. But I just don't think men. I don't think men have any advice, like I said, that they can offer women, and I have yet to hear a man offer any advice to women that
so
would
let
be
me ask you: do
beneficial to
you
women.
believe that you could offer advice?
No.
No,
No,
no.
hell no.
So even
I'm
if
the biggest
even if your daughter asked you, and so if
personally. So
personally,
you missed the now we're backtracking because I'd already addressed this. I said as a whole, in
as a
general,
whole,
most. Yeah. Of course you can offer advice to a woman. Of course you can offer advice to your mother or your sister or your homegirl or whatever the case may be. But if you went into a room full of women, what do you think you can say that most of those women don't already know?
nothing. We'll just be preaching to the choir.
Bingo. And that's why I
Yeah.
made this prompt. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing. What the fuck can we say to women? what valuable advice? And my thing is to get men to stop doing that because they're not the ones who. We don't need to be talking to women. If you want to give dating advice to men. Why are you wasting 2 minutes on women talking about what women need to do? You don't fucking know what they need to do. You don't know what they like. Get the fuck out of here. Can we talk to men though?
That's true, but the question I have to ask is, why are women looking for advice?
They're not. That's
They're
another
not.
thing about they're not. Men give unsolicited advice to women all the time.
Do you think majority of them are not looking for advice?
I think 99.9% of women want men to shut the fuck up. If I had to guess, if I'm just going to go out on a limb, I'm going to go out on a limb. I may be underestimating, it might be 100%. I think it's somewhere around 99.9% though. I think they just want us to shut the fuck up altogether.
If they want to do on their own thing, I agree with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're just wasting your time. And I don't want to waste my time telling people things they already know. If they already know it, they already know it.
Yeah. So who do you think, but do you think you can offer advice to men? Do you think there's something that you could tell men? And I'm not asking you to give me the advice. I'm just saying in general, do you think there's some things that you could like, you have some insight for, for most men or whatever the case may be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think you do too. You see what I'm saying? Like I'll assume that about you right now. I really do. I think there's probably like a handful of things that you can go into a room and talk to men about, and yep, they need to hear that, no doubt about it. So can we get to that though as men? Can we just start talking to men about what the fuck men need to be doing?
Yeah, I feel like we should.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's my point. That's all. That's really all I'm trying to get men to do. Like just stop. Just don't waste 2 minutes on trying to lie to women and manipulate women and all of that stuff. Let's pivot and let's go talk to the men and just talk to the men and just say, hey, this is what we need to be doing. That's my approach.
I mess with it. I agree with it. Do you believe it will be difficult? Do you think it will be difficult to reach that point?
Oh yeah, men are incorrigible, man. The men don't. Men are irrational. Men lack integrity. Men lack critical thinking. Men it's damn. I do it all day long. Trust me, it's damn near impossible. But you reach a few. You reach. I feel like I get to about 1 to 2 to 3% of the men, and that's fine for me. I'll take that. Out of 100, I'll reach 2 or 3, and I'm good with that. I'll take that all day long. I think that's fucking high, to be honest with you. I think that's fucking high.
You gotta start somewhere.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So if those 3 could go talk to 3 more, now we got something. Now we cooking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vio. I brought you up here. I saw your comment, kind of. I don't even remember what it was.
Am I
What was
echoing?
your question?
Am I echoing?
Go ahead.
Now my
Yeah.
question
What
is,
was your question?
it was how many times did you ask black women to bang the cash app today?
I didn't
Now,
ask them to
all
do
right, so
anything, but I should. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, y'all. Vo just reminded me. Hey, bang the Cash App one time, y'all. Y'all know what it is.
I already knew.
Let's like up the line. Hold on, man. Damn, I'm gonna let you go. Let me do my little commercial. You just reminded me. Good looking. Bang the Cash App one time. Support the live. Let's keep the live alive. We only had 64,000 likes. There's 838 people in here. Can we get it up to over 100,000 right briefly? Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all. The comments is going crazy. We jumping. We cooking. Go ahead, Vo. What else you want to say, brother? You got something else to say?
Well, men could teach women as how to be the wives that we want to propose to. Like, if we know what we looking for, submissive, obedient, this, that, and the third, supportive, agreeable. If we know what we looking for, this is what we telling women to be so that we could propose to them. Why is that a bad thing?
Because you shouldn't be telling women to be submissive, and nobody cares if you want to propose. Nobody cares. Vo, nobody cares what you think about women, especially other women. You know what I'm saying? Like in general, like you don't like. What are you telling women
I
to
mean,
how to? Why are you telling women how to be submissive, or that they should be submissive?
they join my
Like,
platform to listen to me.
you've been on my platform enough. I really can't get jiggy with your lies, bro. They be too weird. But yeah, no, I'm just saying you don't really have much to offer. You know what I mean? You're not. You don't have enough experience. You're not genuine enough. Most of the things you say is harmful and toxic to women. So I don't know. I don't know what you could tell women. Like
That's because
I'm waiting to hear the advice.
right. You're not
Huh?
genuine enough. You're actually not genuine. You support toxicity when you know that's harmful to men. But since you want
Yeah.
to make your little coins and have women bang the cash app, you're gonna support the toxic women who pay you.
Hey, I
So
appreciate the cash app, by the way. I forgot. I
I'm
forgot the
actually the
name. I'm
most
sorry,
genuine
y'all.
person on here. I tell the truth about myself, even if it's
Are
unflattering.
you the most genuine
I
person
don't
on here?
have to cap because I don't want y'all to like me. I need y'all to respect me for who I am. That's why I tell the truth about me and other people.
Appreciate you, Clarice. Clarice banged the cash app one time. Um, yeah, bro. I don't know. I don't understand how when you say that I'm not genuine. How am I not genuine?
Because there's a clear issue with our melanated women or how they treat us and how they train to work against us, and you support them. You are an agent for
How do
patriarchy
melanated women work against black men? You know, I
because
just want you to know,
because they
Vio.
was
Hold on,
trained to
wait,
not
wait.
trust us,
I got you.
and you're
Because
helping them.
because y'all be lying. We be lying, men in general, but black men specifically, whatever you want to say, I don't give a fuck. Men be lying to women. So that's why they don't trust us. But so you do realize that I appreciate you, Lady Q. Thanks for making the cash app. Um, uh, you do realize that what you're saying, black men have been saying this about black women for 100 years, and it's always been a lie. That is literally what you're saying about black women is literally a lie that white tea supremacists put in black men's ears and heads. You are literally repeating white tea supremacist talking points while saying
Bro.
while acting like you're actively against white tea supremacy. You don't find that to be ironic?
I don't
You can
have.
literally trace it back. I could if you want to, we can go offline one day and we can get on like a Google Meet call and I'll literally read you the documents, like where it started. Like I'll literally point it out to you where it started. Right? Like what you're saying, I know where you got what you're saying from. You don't even know where you got it from.
And you
You
got your
think you
information
you got
from
it
your
from
wife.
TikTok. You got it from a
You got
meme.
your anti-black
You got it
rhetoric
from
from
a
your
rap.
wife.
Hold on, wait. You got your information from a rap song. You got it from a meme. You got it from somebody you heard on TikTok, right? I'm telling you where
I
they
do
got it from,
research. I
and
do
I'm telling
research.
you where the
Why
person.
you
Where
insulting
did you
my
Where did you
intelligence
get it
like I
from?
don't do research? Like I
You
love
don't do
Google, bro.
research.
I love Google, bro. That's my friend, bro. I do my own research.
I mean, that doesn't mean you know how to research just because you type in stuff in Google. I can type in stuff in Google too, and it'll give me a lies. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Omani. Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, VO, that's crazy. Google is a that Google is a what's it called? It has an algorithm just like TikTok, right? You know that, right? So when you punch in something in Google, it'll give you what you're looking for. You have to know how to search for stuff. Like
I know
Google is
that.
very
I
biased.
also have 2 library cards for 2 different cities in my state. So like,
I mean, that's fine. I'm not. This is not neither here nor there. I'm just letting you know that what you're saying is ahistorical. It's wrong. I appreciate you, Lovey. It's you're just wrong, like unequivocally wrong. It's crazy. So,
what am I
but yeah,
wrong
go ahead.
about,
Thank you,
bro?
Catrice. Appreciate
What
you.
am I wrong about? You just hating, trying to make me look bad in front of all
No, no,
these
no.
women.
I'm not hating on you. That's low brow. Nobody's hating on you. I'm just telling you what you're saying is wrong. Like what you're saying,
So when
once
you assume
again,
I don't do no
is
research, that's hating. You can't
okay.
assume.
So when did
Ask me.
it start? So when was the when was that
My
when did that
awakening
start?
started when I was 23 years old.
No. When did black men start saying that black women were actively working against them? Deborah, I appreciate you. When did that start? When did you think that started?
With that Willie Lynch letter, when they put the light skin
Willie
versus
Lynch
dark
Willie Lynch
skin
letter
and
ain't even real.
men against women.
Hold on,
I don't believe
wait.
that.
The Willie Lynch letter
Pale
isn't
people
real.
want you to believe that. Pale
Hold
people
on,
want you to believe that
VO.
real.
Wait, VO. You see what I'm saying? The Willie Lynch letter isn't even real. It
You
wasn't a
married a
real
white
thing.
woman, so that's why you believe that, brother.
Okay. VO, you look like Gunna on crack. You don't know what you're talking about. Your brain is
Why are we
fried,
talking
bro.
about drugs when your face look like you
you,
literally on meth?
your brain is fried, fam.
Yo, I just want to
Your
say,
brain is cooked.
Robert Coffin, you're an absolute legend. Like at first, I was like, "What's this guy talking about?" And then I'm just hearing the cash apps. So I just want to say, you're a G. Keep up the good work, man.
Oh man, I might have to end the
Absolute
live,
beast.
man. I appreciate you, Ali. Hey man. Hey, I apologize, y'all.
Getting